Good morning, peeps. It's Thursday, my favourite day of the week, because it means do a video and all the stress of the week's gone. And you know, I like to get to work like half an hour before everyone else. And that's been working good until we hired Daryl, who's an early riser, and he gets here at like 7:30 in the morning, which means I've got to start getting to work at 7, so I can have my little half an hour before everyone gets to work, so I can do these videos. Anyway, that's a good trait to have. Heaps to talk about. We're so into 2022 now. I feel like I've only been back to work for a week, but everything's been happening. Changing roof rack because I feel like I need some more real estate on my roof, and to show that TILs can have full length roof racks as well. There's exhaust. Actually, the last exhaust video was so flipping ridiculous with that tailpipe. I don't know what happened. Like, we've fitted up dash mufflers with no, as in like no pipe, no anything, just hanging out the back of the flange, and it actually sounds pretty good. But we put that tailpipe on, the straight pipe on, for the last video. It was ridiculously loud. So that's off, thank goodness, and my eardrums are thanking me for that. And so now I'm running a standard factory Nissan tailpipe with the like factory resonator at the back, because I think there's a market for like a dash midsection only. I can't give you like a true listen of it because I've got headers on this car, but I'll show you what a dash midsection with headers sounds like just for startup. This isn't a detailed exhaust review, this is just a little quick look at it. It actually sounds pretty good. I must admit, I can hear the supercharger more than I could before, but when like you bang it, you put your foot flat and you just want the thing to scream, it doesn't scream like it used to. It's like it's, you know, it's got one hand tied behind its back, and I like that. So I'm definitely going to put the dash rear muffler on so I can get the extra oomph out of it. But I guess for people that wanted that sound of the dash exhaust but not quite the volume, this would be a way to just subdue it a little bit. So it's not a product yet, but I think the next time we order our lot of exhaust, we'll order midsections only, so we've got that offer if people want it. So watch this space for that one. Alright, what else has been happening? Let's go have a look in here. We've had so many interstate people come and visit us this week. I think about 5. Some just for a service, a lot of them with like this wobble issue. I think because we've been talking about it on YouTube, we seem to have attracted a few of these customers that come in, and there's a common thing with the wobbles. It's tyres, to the point where I don't think I want to fit another set of Nittos to any car that comes through here, or Maxus. Basically the customers have been coming through with issues, and we've checked all the things that you check. A lot of it's wheel alignment, but it doesn't eliminate it. Even like there was a set of Maxus which were half worn, and not even half, to be honest, and we changed them over to the Yokohamas, cured, fixed. Oh, there was this car that came in with Nittos. It was the scariest drive of my life. Steve, I think, wanted to like get all the blood out of me. He took me for a drive on our test track. We did no more than probably 70-80 k's an hour on our test track, and I was white. The car was wobbling incredibly. This customer, we put new Nittos back on and it fixed it, because they're fine when they're new. But I'm really starting to back the Yokohamas, and I must say, even though I've only got about 5,000 k's on the BFGs, no issues with that either. So yeah, I'm kind of leaning people towards BFs and Yokis at the moment. There's heaps happening with coils too. So to make a coil, and we've been thinking about this for about a year now, you would have seen little insights onto the dash coil. I've got some back here somewhere to show you. And essentially you have to design a prototype. Here we are. In the prototype, you can choose things like the free height of the coil, how many wraps it's got, and the wire thickness. Back here. And so you design it, send it off, a prototype gets made, air freight that in, test it, right, wrong, change it, do another prototype, again, right, wrong, change it. Then that's sort of 3 months between each one. And then when you're ready to actually go into production, you have to make a minimum of 80. So that's a bit of money there. And they'll get made, but we finally have done it. Dash coils are a thing. So this is going to be for sort of people targeting the 30mm lift, so not big lifts, and they're just rear coils at the moment. I've still got to design the front ones, but the idea of this is, so you can change the free height, and that will help you know, how high the car sits when we're targeting 30mm height. Next you can choose how many wraps is in it, and that is what one decides how soft and subtle the ride is going to be, but at the same time how the coil is going to behave as you add weight to the car, to the vehicle. And in my opinion, all of the coils that are out there at the moment, they've got too many wraps because they've gone for comfort, and then when you load them up, they all get sloppy on the back end, and especially when you're towing, don't do a very good job. And then the last one is wire thickness, and we've worked out the particular wire thickness which is going to work for us and the weight that we want to hold up. But really, the way I'm targeting this coil, it's not going to be for everyone, but for people that tow regularly of bull weights greater than 150 kilos, in conjunction with airbags, this is going to perform way better than anything else we've tried. So I've had them running in my car for 6 months now. Very happy. There's a few other sneaky prototypes out running around Australia, which have given good feedback. So I think this is going to be a good thing, and we're very close to going in production with a 2-inch lift and a standard height as well. So Dash is going to be a cool manufacturer. There's 3 pallets of them here. What else is happening? If you were following my video just before Christmas, and I said, oh, about every 3 months something really big seems to happen, and I'm not sure what it is yet. Then I went away for Christmas, brain's been ticking, and I can kind of tell you a bit about what's going to happen. So it probably worked out, Dash is growing, DNA is growing, we need more space, we need more people. In fact, we are hiring for a TA in DNA at the moment. If you know anyone, please send them our way, because it's really hard to hire good people at the moment. We need another mechanic. In fact, we probably need 2, but we'll start with like someone that can be a bit of a leader. I'll get into that a bit more in a minute. And we need another fitter too. We're booked up for months, so to get all the work coming through out, we need to book up. So resource is a big thing, space is a big thing. So this is kind of the Dash warehouse in its empty state. I haven't moved the cars out of the way yet, but we need more space. So with Daryl coming on board as product manager, we've sat down and worked out there's about another 200, besides the 50 that I was working on, he's found another 200 lines that we are going to bring into Dash in the coming months, all related to Y62. So we're going to need more space, and we've gone and found another warehouse, another 500 square meters. So that's going to get quite serious about what we're going to stock and what our offerings are going to be for the patrol market, and probably bleed into other vehicles later on. But it means basically a lot of this is going to go, which is good for DNA, so we can put like another 1 or 2 hoists on this side. So our footprint of Dash here will probably reduce by, you know, 20% sort of thing. Dash here, 80% at the new place. We've always called this place Eddie. The new place is going to be called Sally because it's in Salisbury. Couldn't think of a better name. And yeah, then we need to start hiring people. We need more loan cars, and my job now here has turned into basically managing the growth of the place. Steve manages the workshop floor, Sharon and Marion are organising what's happening in the office and booking jobs, which we need someone to help with that too, so that's another person we need to hire. And then we've got Jess, who some of you would have spoken to before. She's basically an operations manager now, and Daryl doing all the product management. So we're scaling up to basically make Dash and DNA even bigger, so we can support the whole Y62 community, like at a level which I'm hoping that, like, you know, there's not many other vehicle makes that people are just going in balls and all, so to speak. All right, let's see what else happens today. So, as it turned out, just total coincidence, we had the opportunity to fit a Dash midsection today with a car that came in. So I'll do what I do and place the camera down there and give it a rev so you can hear it. Pretty noisy down here, so I'll walk away from the workshop. So I guess that's a good direct comparison between what headers, Dash midsection and standard factory headers and Dash midsection go. So looks like there is a market because people are asking for it. Oh, while we're talking about just the stuff that happens around here, the car I've got up in the hoist at the moment is booked in for a diff drop, front diff drop, and this is a question I do get asked a lot of. When do you need to have a front diff drop? Well, I'll show you my kind of interpretation of that. Alright, here's the car. We put on full droop so we can have a look in there. Steve-O's on this job, so I'll let him talk about what's involved.
Okay, so what we're noticing with the on-track lift is obviously we're getting a 50mm drop. The drive shaft angle is definitely on an angle that you know, we'd like to get a bit straighter. So what we're noticing most of all is the CV boots are starting to rub together. So when I mean rub together, you got ribs, Dave, if you want to come up here. I'll just put a light on there. So you got these ribs in your drive shaft boot, which is great, but what's happening is it's just touching and leaving a little line. If you come around here, Dave, you'll see the little line it's leaving. Alright, now this has only been in for a couple of weeks and you can sort of see it very easy, but obviously over time that little line turns into a cut and the boot is then exposed, the grease goes everywhere. So if we can get the angle of the diff, if we can get the angle of the drive shafts down by lowering the diff, this is going to be prime just to finish off and just top off this lift. So I'll show you an example of what's going on. It's a billet diff drop plate that's replaced from the genuine front diff cap, and you can see straight away, if I was to line that up there, that bush that's in the front of the diff is actually sitting at the lower spot, and they've actually picked it up just to give you that probably, I don't know what it is, 25mm lift to be able to drop that diff down to enable those drive shafts to then come at the right angle, which is then stopping those boots from rubbing hard up against each other.
Tell us about what's available for genuine, non-genuine boots.
So we've got an aftermarket boot which is actually a softer rubber, and it gives you a better curl in that situation where the little rib is, which is more friendlier. So you're driving down the road, it's a softer touch. These genuine ones are quite hard rubber, which is causing it to cut in a lot easier.
But so is it the inner or outer we can get the replacement?
So the inner is the replacement, is aftermarket replacement. The outer is still a genuine, but that's only from impact. So normally these are okay for quite some time, but it's when you get a stick or something like that on your four-wheel drive game, you know, comes up and steps into it, well, you can't help that. So yeah, the inner boot that we are replacing the genuine boot with is definitely been friendlier for us and be able to help everyone out at a bit of a cheaper cost too. So
all right, let's drop it. All right, I'm going to call it on this one. Diff drop is in. Customer's going to pick up soon and be all happy. So that's this week's episode. Who knows what's going to happen next week. I'm dead keen, and I think it's time that I need to do the review on this dual screen. I've been sort of like pushing out as I needed more experience with it. I think I'm ready to like go and record that now. So that'll be next week, and I'll see you next time on YouTube. Yeah.